out of court. Well, the new report out from Fidelity warns that baby boomers about their 401ks and perhaps they own too much stock in those 401ks. According to the report, 18% of people ages 50 to 54 have a stock allocation of at least 10% or higher than recommended. And for people ages 55 to 59, the figure increases to 27%. The risk, owning too much stock in retirement, could expose you to excessive risk, especially in a market downturn. Bill, what do you think about this? Should baby boomers look to sell some of their equity holdings? I know this is a tough one.
It is a tough one because I sit there and say, you look at the environment and you go, you really can't make any money on anything else, right? Cash is zero. Bonds are almost nothing. So I understand why. I will say the one thing we've been talking about is we noticed the same kind of thing where we've been talking to people about rebalancing. But again, usually it's rebalancing into bonds, and we don't find that real attractive. So we've kind of recommended a new way to think about it and rebalance some into alternative investments. Now, baby boomers, everyone is not as familiar with alternative investments, so it gets to be a little more challenging, to say the least.
When I first started working right out of school, Catherine, my first job, my first paying job was at CNN, and I immediately put money into 401k. And now, 25 years later, I have a very nice, nest egg for retirement. Do millennials think that way?
I am actually working on setting up my 401k right now, this week. So if you have any tips for me, we can talk after the show, and I would love to hear your opinion.
Because I just wonder if millennials, this generation, thinks about retirement.
Most aren't because student loans. A lot of us have student loans.
Exactly.
I have student loans.
Exactly.
I have student loans. I already have some debt, but taxes are taking up so much of my income that I want to protect some of it from the government.
At the same time, don't we all? At the same time, it's automatic that it goes into stocks. So when I look at my 401k, I say, yes, it owns stocks because that's what 401ks, are exposed to. At a certain age, do you have to reassess and say, wait, I may need to put this in cash?
You do have to reassess along the way because you probably should take some risk out.
You don't think now is the time to put the money in cash because the rock bottom rates?
I mean, honestly, though, I think it is a person-by-person decision because the problem is, here's what I view as the worst thing that can happen, which is you have way too, let's say you have a whole bunch extra, more than, I'll say, normal in stocks, and the market starts falling or falls precipitously. The worst thing is then that's the time when you kind of choke on it and sell them out, of course. So you've kind of got hit twice, right? You end up losing all that money. It's going to be really hard to gain back. If you can ride out the waves, it's probably okay to have that too much. But most people have a hard time riding out that wave.
That would be my instinct as well. But tell Katherine, since she's about to start her 401k right now, okay, should she be putting much of the money in that 401k in stocks?
I mean, I think at a young age, I put all of it in stocks. I think because the fact is you just ignore it.
Yeah.
You just ignore it.
How old are you? Is that a
I'm 26.
26. Okay, so at 26,
I would have done. I mean, that's what I did.
What?
Yeah.
40 years, 50 years that you're probably not going to touch that.
By that time, they'll have raised the retirement age anyway. So at least 40 years.
Forever.
Yeah, exactly.
And probably by that time, interest rates will be higher.
You know what? By that time, I'll actually be right. Yes, and interest rates will be higher. Yes, you're correct.
60 years.